B.9, Midpoint Formula. When you start taking the ACT, I promise you there will be a midpoint formula question on the ACT. It might be from B9. It might be from B10. But either way, it's kind of using the same information as long as you know where things are going. So understand it, and you know you're good to go after you have one question right on the ACT, basically. All right. Midpoint formula. A line segment has the endpoints F that's at 10, 0 and G that's at 10, 4. Find the coordinates of its midpoint M. Are the coordinates as decimals or integers? Integers are just whole numbers and the negative whole numbers. Okay. So midpoint formula. Let me tell you what the midpoint formula is first. Okay. So it's taking our x's that they give us, and we're going to divide them by 2. We're going to add them up and divide by 2. And we're going to take the y's that they give us, and we're going to add them up and divide by 2. If you just got finished with B6 at the very beginning, we added them up and divided by 2. On the midpoint formula, we're basically adding them up and dividing by 2 twice. We're doing the x's and we're doing the y's. Okay. What's going on? If I quickly graph this, and I am not going to graph every single one of these problems, okay? We don't have to. I'm just showing you what's going on. If we are at 10, 0, let's just say this is 10, 10, 0. So if this is F at 10, 0, and G is right here at 10, 4. And we have a line segment. If we want to know the coordinates, which is an x, y, if we want to know the coordinates of its midpoint, we basically want to know where is the midpoint. And the midpoint would be right there. If you can see something, this would be vertical, which means because the x's are the same, then the x to our answer is going to be the same. And if this is at 0 and at 4, then what's between 0 and 4? 2. So right now, on this one, I kind of know the answer already. But let me show you how to get it. Okay. So this is where our x's are going to be worked, and this is where our y's are going to be worked. Here is your first x. Here is your second x. Here is your first y. Here is your second y. So x1 plus x2. x1 plus x2. 10 plus 10 divided by 2. y1 plus y2. y1 plus y2. 0 plus 4 divided by 2. 10 plus 10 is 20 divided by 2. 0 plus 4 is 4 divided by 2. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 4 divided by 2 is 2. This is mathematical. This is looking at the graph, which I promise you, most of these problems, you don't want to graph them. Okay, it's going to be harder to do the graph than do the math. And so our answer would be 10, 2. Right. So I'm not going to be graphing them anymore. I'm just going to be looking here and getting the answer. So here's your x's and your y's. x1, y1, x2, y2. It's probably going to be the last time I label them, okay? We should know that x comes first, the y comes second. 10 plus 6 divided by 2, negative 2 plus 0 divided by 2. 10 plus 6 is 16. Negative 2 plus 0 is negative 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Negative 8 goes in the first box. My goodness. Positive 8 goes in the first box. Negative 1 goes in the second box. It does matter on the boxes. You cannot put negative 1 in the first box. It will be wrong. Negative 6 plus 6 divided by 2. Positive 6 plus 4 divided by 2. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0. 6 plus 4 is 10. If you don't know if that's 0 or if that is undefined, because in Algebra 1 you should have seen undefined a couple of times. I got a little song for you. Are you ready? All right. I can't really write it on here. If 0's on bottom, undefined. If 0's on bottom, undefined. If 0's on top, then 0's what you got. If 0's on bottom, undefined. That's my little humor for the day. Don't boo me. All right. So if 0's on top, then your answer is going to be 0. Don't forget. 10 over 2, or 10 divided by 2 is 5. So our answer is 0, 5. Positive 5 plus 1 divided by 2, negative 8. I think that was supposed to have been a negative sign right there. So I'm going to make it a negative sign. Plus negative 6 divided by 2. 5 plus 1 is 6. Negative 8 plus a negative 6 is negative 14. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Negative 14 divided by 2 is negative 7. There's 2 more for this lesson. It's way shorter than B6. Okay. So a line segment has the endpoints V and W. Find the coordinates of the midpoint. I haven't really been reading these. I anticipate what's going to happen. I'm sorry for that. So it's still saying find the midpoint. So, oh, that's big glare. Trying to remove the glare. So 11 plus 17 divided by 2, 15 plus 8 divided by 2. 11 plus 17 is 28. 15 plus 8 is 23. 28 divided by 2 is 14. Now let me look. Write the coordinates as decimals or integers. Integers are whole numbers or the negative whole numbers. So it's not asking for fractions. It doesn't want any fractions. So we're not going to leave it 23 over 2. So 2 goes into 23 11 times with 1 left over, and 1 over 2 is a half. Basically, if you are using your calculator and you put 23 divided by 2 in your calculator is going to tell you 11.5. So 14 and 11.5. Negative 10 plus 1 over 2. Positive 5 plus 0 over 2. Negative 10 plus 1 is negative 9. 5 plus 0 is 5. Both of these are odd. That's over 2. So that means that it's not going to be a nice, pretty number. 2 goes into 9 4 times with 1 left over, which means it's a half or 0.5. 2 goes into 5 2 times with 1 left over. A lot shorter than the last one. Let me know if you need help.